That should be the ticket, and that should be live. Hopefully. There we go. Come on. Come on. Get us in. Get us in. We're so back. Where has that Aston Villa been? Is my one question to everyone. Where has that Aston Villa been? Let me tell you. That Aston Villa has been locked behind the key of a man called Boubacar Kamara. He's the best. Yuri Tielemans at the number 10. I've said he runs like you know in The Simpsons. I think it was in The Simpsons, or it might have been in Family Guy when Stewie, I think, follows around fat people with a trombone. And that's what I imagine in my head sometimes when I see Yuri Tielemans running. I'm not going to lie, but he was fantastic today. I mean, the commentary team were literally all over him. What just happened? I know Man City. Look, Man City aren't the best team in the world. They're not good at the moment. I think Ali McCoist on commentary said that. I think he said that since the 1st of November, Villa would be 16th in the Premier League and City would be 19th. They played like a team that were in the relegation zone today. I mean, they got lucky in the end. They scored a goal because Luca Digne literally tripped on the ball and fell over and presented it to Foden. And when you present it to a player like that, in that position, he's not going to miss. But we're going to be reviewing the game. Obviously, we won 2-1. John Duran and Morgan Rogers, it's just becoming, as John Duran says, normal at this point for those two to just be on top form. I mean, Morgan Rogers, you can see in the thumbnail of the video, Morgan Rogers was the closest thing to unplayable I've ever seen in the Premier League in this game. He lost the ball maybe twice that I can remember, but he was like back to the Morgan Rogers that I saw against Arsenal earlier on in the season, where you just couldn't get close to him. No one could get close to him, and I know I've been gone for a little while as well. Apologies for that one, but I'm back hopefully now a little bit more semi-regularly after the Christmas period, especially. Hopefully get the setup changed a little bit better, and we will be back with regular Villa content. I've got hopefully a few in mind that we can go through, especially in the new year with the January transfer market and everything that's been going on this season and around Villa, the new projects that have been announced, looking into those pretty much and seeing where we go from there. But let's focus on the actual Man City game first and foremost. We won 2-1, should have probably won 4, maybe even 5-0, should have scored in the first couple of minutes. John Duran went through on goal early due to some good pressing from McGinn, but it just wasn't to be. Early on in the game, it was his first shot, pretty much his first touch of the ball. I don't think he was ready for it, but he got his goal. Of course he got his goal. Did get a second goal that was offside marginally. Took both of them really well. And him and Rodgers, I mean, if I was Ollie Watkins, I'd probably be a little bit worried, because Duran and Morgan Rogers look like they're striking up a little bit of a partnership, a little bit of a friendship, a little bit of kinship. Is that even a word? I don't know. Between those two, and they have a really, really good understanding of each other. And John Duran is honestly playing out of his skin. It's not only the goals he's getting, but he's now supplementing it with link-up play, with hard work, with pressing from the front, which is something that Ollie Watkins does, and something that obviously Emery likes in Ollie Watkins. And Alex Moreno's in the chat. Hang on, was he not just winking at the camera last week when Nottingham Forest beat us, Alex? I am fuming at you, sunshine, let me tell you that. Pity the league gave us another away day fixture again. Buzzing for the performance. As well. Yeah, away next game is Newcastle, I believe it is, on Boxing Day. And Morgan Rogers didn't get a yellow card. I would have put money on him wanting Boxing Day off after all of his hard work that he's put in this season. But no, yeah, buzzing for that performance as well. Look, I said, earlier on today, I just had a feeling that Villa were just on this downwards trajectory. The game against Nottingham Forest, could we bounce back? Nottingham, Miami, Florida. Well, hey, say hello to The Rock for me whilst you're over there. There you go. I've broken America. I took a 2-week break due to personal commitments, and I've somehow cracked America already. That is the Villa effect for everyone for you. Say hello to Wes Edens as well when you're over there. Tell him he's doing fantastic things for the mighty Villa. But hey, my brother also lives out in America. Big up to the United States. Anyway, slight tangent because I'm buzzed about the performance. But, look, Duran and Rodgers, that partnership, that could be the future of our attack. And I like Rodgers out on the left. Sometimes he's a bit less effective. I think he's only really less effective out on the left when we have players like Watkins in the team, who does drift a lot more than Duran. Duran doesn't really drift out wide at all. I work at College, where he used to attend. Oh, look at that. A little bit of a link up, man. A little bit of a link up. Alex Moreno. Not the real Alex Moreno, but good. Like I say, good, because I've got personal vendetta against him now. Thanks for coming in, and thanks, for taking time out of your morning, I guess it would be for you. I know, midday in Florida? Midday-ish. Midday on. Well, I'm glad that Villa could at least make your weekend a little bit better, because I know if you did watch the game, you would have had to been up quite early to watch that, to be fair. What time would that have even been on for you? Would that have been like 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m? I can't remember. I feel like LA was about 8 hours difference when I went over to see my brother. But anyway, back to Duran and Rodgers. Rodgers on the left, Duran through the middle, Rodgers with that ability to float inside. Oh my God, yes, I've been up since 7 a.m. Bloody hell. God bless you, son. God bless you. The things we do for Aston Villa, right? The things we do for Aston Villa. But big up the Americans in the chat. We've cracked America. I'm better than Gary Neville, allegedly. Get me on Stick to Football. But yeah, those two together. And Duran, oh my God, he's just got everything now. Honestly, in the last 4 to 5 weeks, he's added so much more into his game, right? He was just an out-and-out goal scorer for us at the start of the season. And obviously Emery has mentioned that tactically he's been very, very impressed with Duran over the last few weeks. He seems to be understanding how he wants him to play. Totally get that in this game. I don't know why the live chat isn't actually popping up. There you go, now it's popping up on the screen. But yeah, fantastic from him. Rodgers, like I say, unplayable today. No one could get the ball off of him. They couldn't get near him. And we're going to look on the screen, actually. If you look on the screen, just to my left, I guess. No, right, my right. You'll see the starting lineup. Now, this is the first time that Emery, for me, has changed drastically from... I know we've had a couple of games at 5 at the back, but still, defensively, the structure was relatively the same. This is the first big departure for me from that solid and rigid 4-4-2 system. And we got the tactics completely right against Man City, right? Man City's problems over the last couple of weeks / months have been that they're all in their 30s. A majority of the core of their team, they started with Kovacic and Gundogan in midfield, or Gundogan in midfield. Hey, howdy, Echo Banger. Welcome back. Sorry for the little break that I've had to take, but life around the Christmas period finds a way. But we changed it up, and like I say, Man City's issue at the moment is legs, right? They just don't have the legs anymore. Their legs really, really seem to have gone. And honestly, we played it to perfection. The first half, we let them have the possession, right? We got a little bit lucky. Guardiola should have probably scored that header, but we were dominant in terms of our defensive setup. Stability was fantastic. We departed from the 4-4-2 into this 4-2-3-1. Kamara and Onana, we're going to get onto them, don't you worry, in a little bit, because they were absolutely brilliant in this game. Gave us a little bit more solidity, especially in defence as well. I was a little bit worried when I saw Pau against Haaland, but he dealt with him absolutely fine. I don't remember Haaland having a shot this game. But we let Man City tire themselves out. They had, 70% of possession in first half? We just sat back, we let them attack, we were comfortable, and then their legs ran out. Come the 50th, 60th minute onwards, it was all Villa, really. Man City didn't even stand a chance at that point. I attended St George's in Newtown. Sid Cohen's and Daniel Sturridge played on the school team with Tony Daly. Keep up the good work, sir. Hey, a little bit of a local leg end in the chat. Alex, hey, I'm very, very glad that you found my channel, and I'm very, very glad you've decided to stick around and comment, because connecting people from all over the world for the love of Aston Villa is almost exactly what I want to do. I can see Echo Bangers in the chat as well. He's a regular commenter. I hope you guys can strike up a conversation down there. Honestly, we have some fantastic Villa fans knocking about this channel, and I hope I can keep it up and keep on growing that community. Echo Banger, lovely formation, having Onana, Kamara, Tielemans in a midfield triangle. Played a 4-2-3-1, really a 4-3-3 in the second half, and started holding the ball. It was fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant the way we played. And though that midfield, I think, honestly, am I going to go back and look for the exact clip? Probably not. But about 3 or 4 videos ago, I said if we can unleash a midfield 3 of Tielemans, Onana and Kamara, the Premier League could be in trouble. And I feel like that's what we've done today. Those 3 in midfield, absolutely sensational. Tielemans, looked like a different player because he didn't have to worry about his defensive responsibilities that he has. He knew that Onana and Kamara would deal with that. And he was just purely about driving us forward and getting us up the pitch. And that's exactly what he's best at, right? That ball for Morgan Rogers for our first goal, I mean, Ali McCoist, literally, I think he might have been close, if you know what I mean, when Tielemans played that ball. I mean, he was all over Tielemans, as he called him throughout the game, on commentary. But honestly, it was a sensational ball. It completely wiped out about 4 or 5 players. The weight of it as well. Rogers didn't have to do anything. All Rogers had to do was run in a straight line. Absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. And the whole game, taking the ball on the half-turn, being progressive, winning smart fouls, getting Man City players booked. Tielemans was a revelation in that number 10. I can't see us changing this formation now. And I can't see us changing that midfield for a very long time, bar fatigue and injuries. I'm a filmmaker too, always tries to place something Villa in my movies. Please do, if you do have any, shove them in the chat. Hey, I'm always up for watching something. No, I love films, I love movies, I love filmmaking. I've done media studies for my A-levels over in England. So yeah, please do send them over. I'll be very interested. Echo Banger, now I can understand why Monchi is looking for midfield depth in the squad. We want a more possession-based, controlled side. I love it. More defender depths for Hawes or Carlos replacement, etc. The video that I want to film tomorrow is all about John Towley, who's a very, very good reporter who covers Aston Villa almost exclusively for the Birmingham Mail. He has been tweeting out a lot of not inside information, it's pretty well known, but it's coming out now more publicly about Aston Villa's January plans. I'm hoping to film a more long-form content video for you guys tomorrow about that. But we are looking for a right back, right-sided defender, effectively, and a creative attacking midfielder. And I think I can see the vision now of where we want that creative midfielder to play. Agree, the midfield is brilliant. I'll send you a link soon. Absolutely boss, mate. Haaland is in Conte's pocket. Did Haaland have a shot that game? I genuinely don't know whether Haaland had a shot that game or not. I actually couldn't tell you. But what point was I on? I was on a point. Oh, where do we want a creative midfielder? Probably on the right-hand side, right? McGinn was good, but I feel like if we had a bit of pace on that right-hand side, an injection of creativity and pace, which John McGinn can do, but not particularly, then you move John McGinn into a position to be able to rotate with Rogers and Tielemans to ensure that they don't get tired. And we inject. I know we have Leon Bailey, and he's going to come back from injury, and maybe he'll be able to recapture the form. Imagine that though. Imagine if Leon Bailey, on the form that Leon Bailey was on last year, was in that team instead of McGinn today. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting, and you can't say me well. There's Chuck Mwezi links as well. We're going to be talking about all of that. Don't even worry. Haaland barely touched the ball in our half. Splashed the cast on Mbueno. Oh, Mbueno in that front four. Mbueno, Tielemans, Rogers and Duran. I see the vision. I see the vision. That would be disgusting. That would be disgusting. And I think it would really hurt Brentford, who are a really good team. Obviously lost to Nottingham Forest today, but still. Bayer might come in to rotate with Rogers or Tielemans on the left-hand side and Cam too. I'm going to talk about Benaya as well in the video tomorrow. Obviously, I'm filming it tomorrow. It might take a little bit of time to edit. Maybe I'll get it out on the 23rd, 24th for you guys. But yeah, Benaya's an interesting one. Benaya's an interesting one for me. Because I'm not 100% convinced on him. I'm not 100% sure on him. I don't know why. But yeah. Oh, Paul Welford, hello. Hi mate, are we going to play Watkins and Duran together? And then Echo Banger, very promising transfer window. We should loan to buy for the FFP net. Yeah, God, FFP, Jesus Christ. Paul, let's go back to you first. The Duran and Watkins debate. I personally, after this season and how we've been so far, I'm not sure they can play together. I know that Emery's always said that he's looking for a way to get them to play together. The thing is, that formation, there's one striker in that formation, right? It's a 4-2-3-1. Duran is the only striker. We'd have to go back to 4-4-2. Hasn't really worked for us this season. And to be honest, I can't remember a solid amount of time in any game where Duran and Watkins have played well together. I feel like this could be Watkins' last season at Villa. If Duran kicks on and keeps on playing how he's playing now, I don't see Watkins regularly getting back into the team. Watkins is 28, decent market value still, FFP still looming over us. I feel like when it comes around to the summer, again, if Duran keeps on this form for the whole season, do you want to sell the 21-year-old up-and-comer or the 28-year-old who's a striker? And let's be honest, he's a fantastic player, world-class player, right? Really, really good for us last season. Really good for England in the Euros in the summer. He's a striker that can't finish. That's all I'll say. In the Premier League, you need a striker that can finish. Very promising transfer window. Yes, I do believe it's going to be an interesting one. There's a lot of rumours about some very interesting movement. I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys to come back for the video, please. And I haven't uploaded in a while. I do apologise. A lot going on. Loan to buys. Interesting with loan to buys. Again, long-term contracts like Chelsea are doing. Seems to be working out for them now. Our owners and Monchi aren't stupid, is all I'll say to that. I think Watkins wants to get top all-time goal scorer. Yeah, probably does. And he's not too far away, and he probably will get it. But you just can't deny Duran at the moment. And again, Duran's 21 years old. I don't expect him at that age, and with the amount of senior men's football that he's played in his career to this point, to be a player that can do that consistently for the rest of the season. I think he's going to be a player that this season, perhaps a little bit of next season, it's going to come in purple patches for him, and then he'll hit the ground running. So there's still time for Watkins. I just don't know if they can play together. Watkins is in his prime, 29 next week, and we play a solo striker or a front three with a striker and two wingers. Watkins might be an FFP sale next season. I can see that coming. I really can see that coming. My only hope is that I hope we don't sell him to another Premier League team, because you just know he's going to turn into like prime R9 Ronaldo against us and suddenly learn how to finish really clinically. Alex Moreno, agree with Echo. Loan out the likes of Buendia, Bagard. Come January, we're back in 3 competitions. We'll need Ollie. Yeah, we'll need Ollie this season. I just don't know whether he'll get replaced next season. Maybe for someone who's happy to be a backup striker to John Duran, because I don't think that's in Rodgers. I keep on getting them all confused. They're all so good. In Watkins' mentality, I don't think he has the mentality of a backup. Neither does Duran, which is a fantastic position for us to be, because now they're both playing very, very good football. Or are we buying top centre-backs? What if Watkins is still here next season? If he's here next season, I genuinely don't think that Duran will be. I just don't think they work well enough together, and I don't think either of them are going to be happy to be sat on a bench for a considerable amount of time. We've got away with it with Duran, although we nearly lost him in the summer over it because of his age. But yeah, Watkins isn't going to want to sit on a bench. After the run that he's having, Duran is not going to want to sit on the bench, and they do not work together. If this formation, this 4-2-3-1 formation, is the way we're going to be playing going forward, the maths just doesn't math, if you know what I mean. The maths just doesn't math. About centre-backs. Yep, apparently we're in the market for a right-sided defender. On the left, we're actually pretty sorted, right? If Mings can stay fit, we've got Powell and Mings to rotate, and then Digne and Maatsen. So left side, I'm actually pretty happy with, in the grand scheme of things, right? Right-hand side, not so much. We've got Cash, who I'm still not convinced on. Again, should have squared it for Kamara. Shot into the side netting. Got a silly yellow card. I think Jack Grealish probably, although it's hard to admit, got the better of him for a majority of that game, right? It was only sort of towards the end when other players started mucking in. And then his backup is either Bagard, who I don't think is good enough to start in the Premier League every game, and like someone did mention, is probably going to get loaned out. And then Nedeljkovic, who's 18, 19 years of age, hasn't played much men's football. So I think right side, and then we've got Konsa, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. His replacement, Diego Carlos, not good enough anymore. Old, slow, cumbersome, gives away silly fouls, gets booked too easy. The list goes on, right? So we're looking for a right-sided centre-back in January. That has almost been confirmed by John Towley as well. Yeah, Ollie, grateful for his service the last 4 years, but he might want to go eventually as he can't stay as an impact sub. We need a veteran striker ready to impact sub next season. Yeah, completely agree. Right, Ollie Watkins is not going to want to sit on the bench, like I say. Duran's not going to want to sit on the bench. They're two players who are very competitive. Ollie Watkins is in his prime. He's not going to want to suspend that on the bench. What he's done for us the last 4 years, specifically last season, he was one of the main reasons that we got Champions League football right. He was absolutely immense. But again, finishing has always been an issue. John Duran could be the future of Aston Villa if we can tie him down. If he stays until he's 30, he's easily getting 100 Premier League goals for Villa, if not more. And it's a hard one to take, but at 29 years of age, we could still get 40 plus million for Watkins. And in regards to FFP, it's invaluable, right? It's invaluable. What if they play 45 minutes each? I just wouldn't want to do that with a striker. Strikers need consistency, they need minutes, they need to stay sharp, they need to stay on it, they need to stay fit. Rotating, and what striker's going to want to do that, right? Let's be honest. To be a striker in the Premier League, you've got to have an ego about the amount of goals you're scoring, right? What striker's going to want to come or stay at a team where they know they're getting 45 minutes a week? It's just not going to happen, I don't think. Neither will want to be benched or subs. We're lucky this season we can get away with it, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Watkins would stay this season. I think he'd be the type of player. If Emery's going to sit down with him now and have a brutally honest conversation and say, look, John Duran's our number 9 now going forward, you're going to have to be happy with the bench. I don't think Ollie's the type of person that would throw his toys out the pram in January and want to go. I think he would wait till the summer. But I can't see both of them being at the club next season, to be honest. Unless magically we can make it work. Hey, perhaps behind the scenes, Ollie Watkins has been dropped because we're working at him being a right winger for us for the next few years. Stranger things have happened, right? Players move positions all the time. So perhaps behind the scenes, tactically, Emery is implementing a strategy to have Watkins on that right-hand side. So our front four would be Watkins on the right, Rodgers on the left, Tielemans in the middle, and then Duran number 9. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't see it happening, but perhaps, right? We never know. Maybe Ollie will bite his pride and accept playing right wing. Hey, I didn't even see that. Let me get it refreshed on here. Great minds, Alexander, if that is your real name. I know it's not Alex Moreno, but maybe your name is Alex. That's a relatively common name, I guess. But great minds think alike, right? Perhaps it is a way. I mean, Watkins started his career at Exeter, and his start of his run at Brentford, he was a winger. So it's not like it's unknown to him completely. I think he actually played on the right as well, the right wing. Ben PF. Rodgers was unplayable today. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He's been off of it a bit, I'll be honest. The last 5-6 games, he hasn't been at his best. But that is a straight 10 out of 10 performance. That is the type of performance where you think, Jesus Christ, this kid's going to be at Real Madrid in a couple of years. I'm not even over-exaggerating. He was immense today. Absolutely incredible. Echo, we never know as training ground stuff. Love Watkins, but we can only hope. Yeah, and again, what he's done for the club is invaluable. He didn't leave. If he is going to leave, I don't think it's going to be on bad terms. And I hope he's not like Jack Grealish, right? He was crying today. He threw up the little I've won the treble and 3 Premier League trophies. Mate, your highlight in Man City's treble winning season was probably just getting the ball, running 5 yards, turning back on yourself, and then just passing it back to a midfielder, because that's pretty much all you do now. Pathetic from him. Look, Villa fans are entitled to boo whoever the goddamn what they want. You know what I mean? They pay money. We pay money every week to go see Villa. Well, I don't, because I live too far away. But when I can get tickets and I can get childcare and I'm not at work, I pay money. And if I want to boo you, I'm going to boo you. You gave it the big one about loving the club, and all you've done is disrespect us since you've left. You've dived against us. You're celebrating when other players score against us. And now today's performance was disgraceful. Kicking with John McGinn, who's supposed to be your mate. Doing that at the end, pathetic. I hope he never sees this club again, to be honest. Never. I remember Brentford dropped Watkins in the bench and he dealt with it. Yeah, I mean, again, maybe he's on a good contract at Villa. He likes the club, I think. He seems to get along with everyone. He seems to get along really well with Emery. Perhaps he would be happy. I don't know. I don't see it personally, but perhaps. Alex Moreno, you can view me all over Google. Alex Moreno and University of Miami. Oh, is your name actually Alex Moreno? Because if so, that is incredible, by the way. I do play goalie in Rec League. Huh? There you go. Look at that. You're a very interesting man. Ben, do you think we'll make any moves in the January transfer window? Yes, there has been a lot of reported activity which I will be covering in a video which I'm filming tomorrow and should be uploaded on either Monday or Tuesday. So anyone watching that isn't subscribed and you want to know all about Aston Villa's January transfer window plans and what I think of them and the players that we could be looking at, make sure you subscribe, turn noties on, and you should see that video in your subscription feeds early next week, pre-Christmas. But yeah, a short answer to kind of spoil the video: right-sided defender, creative attacking midfielder are the two that we're being alleged to be going for in January, right? And there's a couple of big stories coming out at the moment that fit that pretty well. Rodgers is nowhere near the final product. He is insanely promising and already getting results, and it's just the start of his journey. I can see Rodgers up another level. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Listen, the geezer was playing for Middlesbrough a year ago, getting 1 goal in 20 games in the Championship. Emery saw something in it. I mean, I thought he was going to be good because the whole story about us signing Morgan Rodgers, right, was that we played Middlesbrough and we actually beat them 1-0 in the FA Cup. I don't believe we were scouting Morgan Rodgers before that game, and Emery was so impressed in that one game, that 190 minutes, he must have seen something in him that he liked, well, clearly, that we actually went out and Emery said, he is my number one target for that January transfer window. And I tell you what, if Morgan Rodgers stays at this club for another 5, 6, 7, 8 years and continues playing how he is now, he's definitely going to be our best ever January transfer window signing. Can you name a better one? I can't think of one at the moment. I mean, if he carries on, obviously. I heard Martinez twin is joining us. I'm missing a joke there. Someone's going to have to fill me in. Maybe it's because I'm tired. That joke's gone over my head. If you're talking about Martinez from Manchester United, I will throw myself out a window right now. Oh, Duran. That's the comment. Duran. This is normal. Yeah? You know what he needs to do? He needs to bring back that celebration where he was like, I love that celebration. Why did he get rid of it? Do you think Buendia, Jedan, Carlos, Bagard, Olsen, Barkley will be sold? I will cover this in the video again. It's coming out next week, so please subscribe. I'm not out of Twitch. That's a wink. A bad one, albeit. I'll quickly run through very, very brief thoughts on each player, and then the more in-depth breakdown will be on my channel next week. Buendia, I don't believe will be sold or loaned out in January, but I do think he will be sold in the summer because I don't think he's personally good enough to warrant a space, and we'll probably look to upgrade the squad again in summer, obviously. Jaden is filling a quota for us. He has insane potential, but there are links away from the club. I don't see him going because he does fill quotas for us as a young homegrown British player, but there's possibilities with that one that I will be talking about. Carlos, a bloody OP sold. Bagard, I think he'll stay just because we're lacking cover at the moment in that position. Olsen, still number 2 despite Joe Gauci being at the club, but then Philip Marshall's just signed a new contract. Perhaps we're going to look to promote him up. So I'll probably say 50-50 on Olsen as well. Barkley, nowhere near being sold. Very, very important to the team and will be very, very important to rotation, especially if we're playing a midfield 3 now. We're going to have to rotate more, and he is vital to that. Duran was signed in the January transfer market. Duran is very good. Duran's a very, very good player, and he could be a 100-plus goal player for Villa. But I think Rodgers might have a better overall impact. Just because of how he is, right? Lol, the butcher at M is all. Oh, yeah. He's awful. I wouldn't pick him for my rec team. Yeah, I don't like Martinez, man. I just don't like his attitude. That's the problem I have with United. I don't really mind United as a club, but I hate Bruno Fernandes and I hate Martinez. I can't stand either of them. But Rashford, interesting. That's all I'll say. Maybe watch the video next week to find out a little bit more about that stare. Paul Welford, I think Duran needs some hat-tricks now. My main issue with Duran is he only ever scores 1 goal, didn't he? I don't know why. I think maybe it's the way that Villa play, though. Naturally, when we score, we kind of slow down the pace a bit. But his time will come. Philogene to striker. PA, I don't think so. I don't think he's good enough to be up front, to be fair. He's a very, very good winger, very, very capable winger. Life at Villa has been very hard for him at the start, coming back to the club. all the expectations on the world, the Barcelona links maybe just got to him a little bit. I think he'll come good. I kind of hope he does stay because I do think he'll come good. I think he's a very, very good player. Alan Smith. What about Enzo Bacca? Liked the look of him and the young fullback. He's fast. I really like the young fullback, Kostan Nedeljkovic. I do really think he's good. But I think we need some more firepower in that position, right? Just because it's the Premier League. He hasn't played much first-team football in his career. Possibly needs to do a little bit more. Enzo Barrenechea, apparently being recalled from his loan, not particularly playing very many minutes at Valencia at the moment. And again, if we're going to a midfield three, having him and Barkley on the bench as our backup options, very, very good. But yeah, he's kind of fallen out of favour at Valencia, so there's some talk about him possibly being recalled in the January transfer window. Whether that's to loan him out again or to actually keep him as a rotation option, I don't know. Apparently we're linked with Tomori. Maybe watch the video on Monday, Tuesday and find out. So yes, we are. We're linked with Tomori, one that is in the January transfer window rumour mill. I don't know. Again, I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. I think he's slightly out of favour at AC Milan. Obviously, he isn't getting into the England squad, which I'm sure is something he very, very much wants. And I think it's probably just because he's playing abroad, because England managers are really weird like that. Obviously, I don't know, Thomas Tuchel might be a bit different. But yeah, he is one that we are being linked with. Moving on. Tomorrow, yeah, we are getting linked to Rashford. Do you think he'd be a good fit under Emery? Well, I wanted to keep this one under the wraps of the video, guys, but come on, I'll talk about it. Yeah, Rashford is one that we're being linked with. Obviously done the interview recently saying he's ready for a new challenge. He's been dropped out of the squad completely by Ruben Albarim, who seems to be coming out and publicly saying he's not really a fan of him. I also think Garnacho is a good player and I'd take him as well. But Rashford could be one to keep an eye out on. He's got the one thing that we're missing in that team, and that is just bullet pace. We know how good Rashford can be. He's inconsistent, but what does Emery do? Emery takes players, he drills his tactics into them meticulously, and he makes them consistently good. That's all I'll say on that. That is all I'll say on that. What about Junior? Let Slurs have him. I think you mean Spurs. Yeah, Rashford has been linked with Spurs, but we don't want to give them any more attackers because they're a very good attacking team already. What about Junior? So obviously referring to Samuel Illing Jr. at Bologna. Again, one that I have seen talks about being recalled from loan. I do believe if he got recalled from loan, he would be sent straight back out. The reason that he would be recalled is because, again, not getting very minutes at Bologna. Unfortunately, a few of our loans haven't really worked out this season for our players that we've sent out. So Barrenechea not getting many minutes, Illing Jr. not getting many minutes either. Both of those talks about them being recalled from their loans and being sent out to different teams. The only one that's working at the moment is Louis Barry. I'll take Rashford if Man United pay half of his wages. Yeah, a loan deal could be feasible for Rashford. I don't think it would be a sale in January, so he would be one for the summer. Maybe even a loan to buy. Can you do short-term loan to buys in the Premier League? I'm not even sure. Rashford could be a decent loan for the rest of the season. Option to buy. Wouldn't buy him straight away on a permanent with his wages. He's inconsistent, big name profile, and could have an ego. Yeah, very true. Right, and he's a Manchester boy, isn't he? So I don't know how well he's going to do actually being unsettled and moving out of Manchester. That could be something to look at. Again, I'm not sure United are really thinking about top four this season. I think the main thing is going to be for Almarim to steady the ship, implement his style of play, and go from there, right? But perhaps we could see, Rashford on a loan. Would United let Rashford out on loan? Would be the only thing I would think of for that deal. Is Luiz coming back? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that was just a pipe dream story that came up when we played Juventus and then it was dead in the water as soon as that game was over. And I don't think we need him. God, strike me down where I stand. I don't think we need him at the moment. Would he start as a number 10 for us? Probably not. And I like Onana and Kamara as that pivot. So, I mean, God forbid. But what did you think of the Onana-Kamara double pivot? Oh, let me turn around. It's a 360. Did you like that? Bit of visual learning for you. It was a 360 from how our midfielders looked the entire season. I thought that midfield was absolutely brilliant. And those two as a double pivot, the world is in trouble. That's what I'm going to say. At Ben, I see that duo playing every game. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If those two can stay fit, that might be the best double pivot that the Premier League has to offer. And it's not even close, let me tell you. Most of the players we take are humble, hard-working, team-orientated guys. I don't see Rashford fitting this mould. Rob, first of all, haven't seen you here before. Welcome, my good Aston Villa friend. Yeah, great point. Great point, you know. But maybe one exception to that rule, John Duran. And he's doing pretty well. Look, if Rashford is serious about his career and serious about football, I think he'd want to come to a team like Villa. Just because of how we are. Just because of Unai Emery. Perhaps. Again, one to keep an eye on. Fair enough. Yeah. Again, you are right. I think your point's completely valid. I just think it could work. It could work. And that bit of me that thinks it could work, it would be very excited by it. This is a strong mid and we don't lose any games with them. I think we'll probably lose a couple, maybe. If we want to go unbeaten for the rest of the season, I'm way up for that. Don't even get me wrong, Paul. But it is very strong. Boubacar Kamara is going to be the next Villa player to be tied down to a new contract. He's got 2 years left. And since he's come back, he has been... he's changed us. When he came off against Nottingham Forest, we fell apart. He came off, we conceded 2 goals. You know what I mean? If Man United want to trade Rashford for... What if Man United want to trade Rashford for Duran? I would probably drive up to Manchester United Stadium myself, laugh at it, because they clearly want to be a joke, and then drive back, because that's not going to happen. Never in a million years would I make that trade. John Duran's the future. He's the future. And he's also the present. That's what's so good about him. Blimey, that made an awful splash. Sorry for that. I wouldn't take that. Would not take that. But hey, back to the Man City game quickly whilst we have a quick break in the chats. Player ratings. Martinez, 7. Some good saves in there. Solid. Came out and claimed stuff well. Digne, 7. Fantastic going forward. Defensively a little bit slack. Can't really blame him for tripping on the ball. That happens sometimes, right? Pau Torres, really, really good. Give him an 8. Distribution, look back to his best. Concert, 10. You can't back pocket Haaland and the whole Man City front line like that and not be rewarded. Matty Cash, 6. Should have squared it. Got a yellow card. Still not sold on him as a player. Onana and Kamara, both 10s. That double pivot was absolutely glorious. And they also progressed the ball very, very well. Rodgers out on the left-hand side. 10, unplayable. Left players in the dirt. Left him in the dust. They couldn't get near him. No one could tackle him. And he looked like he was playing cage football out there. Like he was honestly just taking the mickey. Tielemans, 10. Again, 100%. What a player. John McGinn, probably an 8. Had good moments. Had some bad ones as well. I'm not sure about him. Not sure about him in this team when we could have a pacey winger, right? John Duran, probably an 8. Could be a little bit more involved in the game, but he took his goal very, very well. Don't forget about Tielemans. He was amazing. Tielemans was outstanding and rightfully got man of the match, right? It probably should have gone to Rodgers, but I'm not mad at Tielemans getting it because he was really, really good. X-Bills is on the wind-up there with his little spanner. Billy, why was your run called what it was today? Me and Jiggins really want to know. Duran is gone the first chance he gets. Yeah, no. No. Him and Emery are going to have like the weirdest father-son relationship you've ever seen. It's going to be like Captain Holt and Jake Peralta. If anyone watches Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you'll get it. I think he's going to be a legend for Villa. Come on, up the Villa, up the Duran. Tielemans lacked pace and loses balls deep, so it was nice seeing him as a more creative front of a midfield 3, making ping passes as his vision is fab. Kamara and Tielemans, fantastic and free. We can experiment with Tielemans. We experimented with Tielemans deeper this season. it just fits better. Sorry, I've just seen Billy as a front centre mid / cam creative player. Yeah, absolutely agree. Tielemans was fantastic because he didn't have to worry about his defensive duties today. Kamara and Onana absolutely took control of that situation. And Tielemans, again, in that number 10 position, absolutely brilliant. Everyone, Billy had a bit of a dodgy run today because he needed to relieve himself bowel-wise halfway through. Billy, I've been there. My run the other day, I got 4 steps into it and I needed a wee so bad that the whole run I was just fuming, mate. But hey, marathon in September, let's go. I think another tall midfield DM in Jan. With FFP how it is, I wouldn't waste any money on a midfielder. If we need to, just recall Enzo Valencia and have him on the bench. Him and Barkley on the bench is absolutely fine cover-wise for me. I don't need any more than that. I'm happy with that. If we get a pacey right winger, let's not forget that John McGinn is also going to be on the bench. More options for relief. I'm happy with that. If FFP is anywhere near as tight as it possibly is being reported that it is, spend all the money that we have on the right hand side of our team effectively. That's my thoughts and opinions on it. But hey, guys, it's late. I'm sleepy. Even though Aston Villa have made my Christmas. Guys, I'll stick around for another few minutes for any more people that are watching that maybe haven't put something in the live chat, people that have been putting in the live chat. So anything else that you want to quickly talk about, I can stay for another 5-10 minutes. Let's be honest, when I get chatting, I don't stop. But anything else, guys, final warning, pop everything you want in the live chat. Let's just have a nice conversation to finish off this video before we say Merry Christmas to everyone and have a wonderful Christmas as well, everyone out there. If you are celebrating, if you're not celebrating, enjoy the day off work. If you don't have the day off work, which I very nearly didn't, just enjoy it, man. Just be with your families. That's the most important thing. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, the important thing is just family. Be grateful for what you have, and get ready to just smash it in the new year. Right, let's go through these chats then before we hop off. Echo Banger, we don't need a DM, maybe a cam or creative versatile attacking midfielder, right centre back that can play right back like Consa does. That is effectively what is being reported, right? And it's pretty much correct. The Villa, Merry Christmas. Will, Merry Christmas to you too. I hope that Saint Nicholas is kind to you, my friend. Where does Ramsey and Bailey fit in? Well, Bailey's a pretty obvious one, right? Rotation with John McGinn on the right-hand side. Ramsey, I could see maybe coming in as a number 10. Rotation for Tielemans and a rotation player for Rodgers. Look, Ramsey hasn't been anywhere near as good as we know he can be for about 18 months now due to his ongoing injuries. If he gets back to where he was before, then there's a conversation to be had. At the moment, I would be happy with Ramsey sitting on the bench and getting 30, 40, maybe a start every now and again, starting in the cup competitions until he's back to his best for now. I see him as a rotation player, effectively. Ben, have a merry... Oh, you know what? The baby is asleep. But for my next video that I film tomorrow, peep the Christmas jumper that I'll be wearing. Because it might just have that slogan on it. That's what I'm going to say. I've given it away. It has that slogan on it. It's brilliant. It's Emery with like snowballs saying "Have a Merry Christmas." What more do you want? What more do you want? Right, boys and girls. Anything else? Anything else for the chat before I probably go and go into a deep slumber? Maybe do a zombies Easter egg. I'm not even sure. Probably got some washing up to do. Maybe. Are the cats in the background? Yeah. Are you? Hold on a minute. Is anyone like seeing this? What is he doing? Anyway, that's my cat for you. That is my cat for you. I don't know what on earth he's doing. He's such an idiot. The other one sat on a bin. Did Ramsey ever recover? Did Ramsey need to recover from the... Echo Banger, take care everyone, love discussion. Echo, have a very Merry Christmas period, my good friend. Did Ramsey never recover? I think he did it if he ever recovered from the injury. He did. So he obviously got injured with the England under-21s in their Euros. I think he had a couple of little niggling injuries from Villa as well. It was an ankle injury. I don't know whether it was a ligament injury or tendon injury, like the one going down the back of your ankle. He recovered, he came back, injured it almost straight away again, came back, injured it almost straight away again, and you just worry. You just worry that it's going to be... no, his brother recovered. Oh, Aaron. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Aaron Ramsey. He was sold into Burnley, didn't we? He was an alright player as well. There's another one though. They've just got... I mean, his dad's bollocks are just like a factory of football apparently. Because there's Cole Ramsey that plays for the Villa youth teams, who's apparently very, very good. To be fair, this always happens, right? The younger sibling's meant to be like the one that's better than them all. But yeah, there's another one knocking about as well. Any thoughts on Louis Barry? Yeah, I've done a video on him on my channel, I think, where I actually spoke about Jack Grealish, funnily enough, which after today I will not be doing ever again. Louis Barry has all the tools to be a influential player for Villa going forward. I believe that the current rumblings around the transfer window is that he will be recalled from his loan, which is at Peterborough, obviously in League One, and I think it's Middlesbrough in the Championship are looking to take him on for the remainder of the season to get him a little bit of experience at a higher level. But fantastic. He's been fantastic this season. He's been fantastic. Again, it is League One, so we have to curve our expectations of how he will be. But really kicked on and really showing a good attitude towards football as well, which you worry about when a player's 14 and goes from West Brom to Barcelona. Perhaps the ego will get to them. Might have taken a few years. Seems to have gone out of him. Think he could be a Premier League player in the future, for sure. Oh, right. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Anything else? There you go. That's just me putting my hands up so I know on the delay when you guys are seeing it. Anything else at all? Even if it's what did I eat for breakfast today? Ask away. I'm here for you. Let's Talk Villa is here for you. Do you know what I mean? Let's Talk Villa. I'm back, baby. New video out Monday, Tuesday. Don't forget about that, guys. Do not forget about that. That's going to be a good one. A bit longer form content for you as well. Do you think we go in a good run now? I don't know, because we've got some really tough fixtures coming up. We've got Newcastle on Boxing Day. I don't know who we have after Newcastle, to be fair. But we've got a tough run coming up. January transfer window's coming up. We need to go on a good run. I would like to see us get 5 wins in our next sort of 6 to 8 games, at least. And beat Newcastle. Newcastle's going to be a really, really tough game. But they're a bit like Villa at the moment. They're blowing hot and cold. So there's every chance. I don't know. It's too early to think about it. That's an after Christmas problem. Do you know what I mean? I'll think about that whilst I'm eating my cheese board at 4 o'clock. Hope Mings comes in. I think Mings and Powell are going to be rotated a lot this season for certain games. Isak, I think, is a player that perhaps is more suited to the likes of Powell. Defending him, because he's not the most, even though he's big, he's not the most physical player in the world. Bit more technical, and I think Powell deals with those types of players a little bit better. But when we play teams like Nottingham Forest, for example, which Mings was meant to be starting, and then I think he's the clear option to deal with a player like Chris Wood. So, right, guys, there we go. Big up to all of you who were here today. It's been a fantastic stream. Thank you all. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. Like I say, life finds a way. But now Let's Talk Villa has found a way to be back. New video out on... It's going to be Monday or Tuesday. One or the other. Please, bear with me. I will film and edit it. Hopefully, mostly tomorrow. Maatson, do you think he has time? The thing is, Luca Digne is playing really, really well. Maatson, there's no doubt in my mind, Maatson will be Villa's starting left-back probably by the end of the season. I think Emery just probably wants to get it right before we change such a key... The thing is, Digne's been key for Emery for 3 years now, so I think he just wants to get it right. Newcastle, Brighton and Leicester, I would like at least 6 points from that run, to be honest. I think I'd be happy with 6 points. I'd be over the moon with 7 or 9 from that run. Definitely should beat Leicester, obviously. Brighton, again, a little bit hot and cold. Newcastle, a little bit hot and cold, but both very, very good and very, very capable teams. 6, 7, 9 points. Those are the only acceptable tallies from that, I think. Not 3, not 4, 5. I'd probably lose a little bit of sleep over, but not much. But anyway, thank you to everyone. Brighton is at home. Yeah, but we're dodgy everywhere, mate. We can't keep a clean sheet still. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, honestly, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I do really, really enjoy these live streams. Maybe I'll be able to bang one out on Boxing Day. I'm not even too sure. Probably should be with all the cheese in my stomach, contemplating why I ate that much. But no, honestly, guys, thank you very, very, very much for coming in. New video out Monday, Tuesday time, talking all about Aston Villa's January transfer window, who we're looking at, why we're looking at them, where they fit, and what I think. But for now, Ben, have a good night. I like that emoji. That's quite cool, actually. I don't even know how you've managed to do that. But for now, just remember this. Jack Grealish sold his soul, and we've beaten him twice in a row at Villa Park. How stupid do you look? Because we're now above you in the table, and the lion is roaring again.